Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Steve Duvall, live from the Sedona International Film Festival in Sedona, Arizona. We are here with Lauren Spieth. We're talking about her great movie that she's got here called What Green Can Be. So this will be an interesting conversation, and she's from my hometown of Burlingame, California, actually San Mateo. So welcome, Lauren.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
So first thing, tell us a bit about your film.
Well, it looks into a little community, Burlingame, and what it's trying to do to go green and encourage green through the eyes of the building of one house. And it also tells the story of green construction, and I hope it's a story of empowerment of how we can all go green, whether we're having a house or whether we're just doing things on our own.
So your film is more about the sustainability movement and about empowering people and how we can do things rather than a story about building a house?
Yes, exactly.
So sort of
Each of us can do so many different things on so many different levels to be more green and more environmentally aware.
So how are you doing that? I mean, are there certain features in the house that you're doing, or is there an education process in this? Or?
The house itself has a lot of different features, but we also trace back in time. We look back centuries for when the environmental movement actually started. And then we go back to the very first Earth Day. My uncle was a filmmaker, and he allowed me to use some of his old footage from that time. So I have some historic footage that hadn't been seen before, too.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That Earth Day, did that start in Berkeley? Was that a Bay Area thing? Or?
Could be. I could ask him.
He's still
He just
alive?
sent me all his, yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll have to have him over here someday.
That'd be great.
So how are you getting your message across through this building of this house to the community?
Well, the film was shown, Burlingame has its own sort of a green day every year, and so it was shown there. And we're just trying to spread the word. We're very excited to be here in Sedona.
Okay. So what green can be. So this is an example then of what's possible.
Right.
And
Just one example, and there's so many things that are possible.
Yeah. You're getting plenty of publicity on this?
I hope
Well,
so.
we are right now.
We
that's
sure
for
are. Thank you.
We are right now. So there's a whole philosophical viewpoint about building green. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it's treading lightly on the earth, and it's each of us. You know, what is green? We each have to take a little from the environment just to be, but we can be mindful as how we are. What is our walk on this planet, and how do we interact with our environment and with each other?
We tend to be the ultimate consumer planet.
Right.
I mean, there's an idea that I just can't get over, and that is how can we as a species destroy that upon which we depend to live? For example, cutting down the rainforests. Those are the lungs of the planet. Why are we doing that?
Why indeed?
That's the question. Yeah.
So we need to reduce, reuse, recycle, repurpose, and rethink.
And sort of to get people to begin to rethink their approach to how we live and what we do on the planet.
Right.
Is that kind of an underlying theme? Is what you have in here?
Right. We can be empowered to take a look at our world and all the ripples that we make in all sorts of different ways, and this is one of them.
It amazes me how wasteful we are in so many ways. Are you integrating recycling products into your film here in the house that you built?
This house has some renewable resources. It has reclaimed resources in it. It has well water. It has there's a lot of different aspects, and just construction is one of the most wasteful processes. So it uses SIPS panels instead, and there's a lot of different things that you'll see in discussions within it. It's a very short film, so I hope you'll come and join me and watch.
I'll look forward to that.
Thank you.
So I'm just reading the cut lines on your card here.
Mm-hmm.
It says also, this is a story about how one small town is encouraging green building and the beautiful results that can occur when we decide to go green. Can you tell me a little bit about that? A little bit more about that?
Well, people don't always associate green with beautiful. sometimes you think green and you think about putting on a sweater and turning down the thermostat, like, you know, maybe living in this little sort of ugly little box that's made of corrugated cardboard. So this house is kind of beautiful. And that's, it sort of gives lie to the idea that it has to be one particular thing. It can be anything.
It can be many things.
It can be many things.
Yeah. Is there a star in the movie? Someone?
Us, we are the star. We
You're the
all
star.
have to be the star of this story if we're going to change the way we think about how we walk on this earth. We all have to be the star of that story.
You know, that seems to be the theme that I keep running into here at the film festival. I've had a chance to interview quite a few filmmakers, and I'm finding a common thread through everything, and that is consciousness and people waking up. And waking up in terms of the messages that they deliver and the things that we're doing on the planet, and what we can do to maybe help us survive. We seem to be on a collision course. So you are definitely a part of that entire movement that you're doing here.
I hope we do some small part of that, but I think that we're only on a collision course if we decide that we're on a collision course. I think that we can feel, we don't have to feel hopeless. Hopelessness is a choice.
It is
We can
indeed.
choose hope every day if we want to.
We were talking a little bit earlier upstairs over lunch about how we can really change the planet through our thinking. And we were talking about the law of attraction. Some people have been followers of that, the law of attraction, and how we can manifest things in our lives. Usually they're things like a new car or, you know, personal items, things like that. But we can also apply the same principle to green living. We can think in that direction. We can create a life in that direction, just as well as we manifest objects and money and more green stuff that come in Federal Reserve notes instead of green things that can sustain us.
I think that if we turn the law of attraction on its head and we put ourselves at the service of the greater good instead of putting the cosmos at our feet, we might have a better chance of saving our planet.
Yeah. Where'd the idea come? And I know the answer to this question too. Where'd the idea come that we're the gods of the planet and we're in charge of everything?
I don't know. If I knew that, maybe I could find an alternative, better answer.
Yeah, it's kind of rooted in our culture, I think, that man is above the beasts and the animals and the plants and that we're in charge of the whole thing. But indeed, we're not. It's in charge of us.
We can all be servant leaders and we can all do a little bit. We all make a ripple every day. So it's also in our power to choose what kind of a ripple we're making.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And so, you know, we can choose little things. You know, are we going to use if we're running a festival, are we going to have a bunch of green films, which is what you chose, which I think is just outstanding, and I'm so excited to be here.
And so that's what you're doing. You're bringing your own.
It's a little
shift.
message. It's a little something. But you know, you use your skills, whatever they are.
Yeah. Yeah. We're building it up. I really appreciate you coming by here.
I really appreciate being here.
It's really great talking to you. So this is Lauren Spieth from How Green Can Be, playing when?
It's playing Saturday at 6 o'clock.
Saturday at 6 o'clock at the Harkins Theater?
Yes.
Okay, Saturday at 6 o'clock, Harkins Theater. See this movie, meet these nice people. You'll probably do a Q&A afterwards too, right?
Hope so.
Hope so too. Well, thank you so much, Lauren, for coming by the studio today, and look forward to seeing your film.
Thank you, Steve.